Hi, this is Chico Resch. You are listening to the Let's Go Devils podcast on the Primetime Radio Network.
Happy Devils Wednesday. This is Game Day Live, brought to you by the Let's Go Devils podcast and the Primetime Radio Network. We are found on Spotify, Apple, everywhere you get your podcasts, and we are currently live on YouTube and Facebook. I am your host, Shorts Guy, for this version of Game Day Live on this Wednesday night when our New Jersey Devils are out west, getting a Rocky Mountain high and facing off against the Colorado Avalanche. Thank you again to Sam for producing behind the scenes. And welcome to everybody that's coming into the chat right now. AJ Visco, that's correct. I am solo again. Everyone else is on assignment, so I am here. I am keeping everyone well informed about the game that is about to start tonight, 9:30. It's not as bad as those 10:30 games, but still a little bit of a late start. It's going to start just about when we're used to it, used to games ending here on the East Coast. Hopefully everybody's having a great Wednesday night and are getting ready to watch the New Jersey Devils take on the Colorado Avalanche tonight. A rematch of the game earlier in the season, which the Devils did not do so hot. The Devils lost that game back in, I'm trying to remember when that was, and I'm bringing it up. I had it here before. That game was back earlier in the season. On December 8th, it was a 4-0 Colorado victory against our New Jersey Devils. And tonight we get them out in the Rocky Mountains, out in Denver, Colorado. And we're potentially, I don't know if anyone has seen it and can throw it into the chat, but we are potentially seeing an old friend, now familiar foe, Mackenzie Blackwood, tonight now on the Colorado Avalanche. We would have a former Devils goaltending duo of Mackenzie Blackwood and Scott Wedgwood if Wedgwood was back from injury, which I'm not quite sure if he is. But we all know what happened the last time the Devils played against Mackenzie Blackwood, at least here at the Rock against the Sharks before he was traded to the Avs. He shut us out, 1-0 game, I believe that was. So we're looking at, the potential of seeing this happening again. And unfortunately, we know the history of when the Devils match up against former goaltenders. It doesn't go very well for us. However, let's not be completely negative. Colorado is coming off of they're currently on a 2-game losing streak, losing to the likes of the St. Louis Blues and the Nashville Predators, who the Devils just, I guess you could say, annihilated this past weekend on Sunday night. 5-0 victory. So AJ Visco, if you would have said 5-0 against the Nashville Predators, you would have had another correct score with another shutout. What's up to Stephen Engel? What's up to Wimpy, Joseph Lamon, Tito Thames? Tinto Thames. Hey, welcome. I don't remember seeing you in the chat before, but welcome to the chat. Brooke Amanda's here. I'm sure she's going to be giving us some great information, as she always does. Selecta Boy, what's going on? Selecta Boy, you got to listen to the Colorado radio broadcast. That's a bummer. Just go through the app and listen to Matt and Chico, unless they're not out there. Maybe they're not out there on this trip. So, just to recap the last game, the Devils played the Nashville Predators on Sunday night. And I was predicting a very close and tight game. However, I was wildly wrong with a 5-0 Devils victory. First ever shutout in the NHL, I believe, for Nico Daws, who had quite a scare towards the end. It looked like Nashville was going to break that shutout with just less than 3 minutes left. Went to video review, and they called it back on the offsides. And the Devils were able to protect that 5-0 victory, give Nico Daws his shutout. Gets the first star of the game. He looked really, really sharp in that game. I got a text from a friend today, and his exact text was the following. Nico Daws plays every game on the road trip unless Markstrom is ready. That was his take on it, which, speaking of the Devils and their goaltending, Markstrom is on this trip from everything I've heard. Brooke Amanda saying Allen is in net. I got that alert too from my fantasy team, which I have neglected pretty good over the last couple weeks. However, I really think we need to see more Nico Daws, and I'm hoping that we see him more in this trip. And here's a bit of a stat for the Devils goaltending. So I don't know if anyone saw this, but this has been making the rounds on social media. So this was from a couple days ago. I saved this yesterday. So this was posted after the Nashville victory. This is courtesy of Todd Cordell. 10 games since the Markstrom injury, which seems like it was a lot more than 10 games. The Devils currently, since that 10 game, over the course of this 10 games, this is a pretty great stat. They rank first in save percentage, high danger save percentage, so first in both of those categories, and have given up fewer goals than all but the Winnipeg Jets, who have the great Connor Hellebuck in net, who played phenomenally for us in the Four Nations faceoff. Not really phenomenal. And I could be a little bit critical. I could be a little worrisome about the goaltenders, and I can also be, a homer for our Devils goaltenders. But to be first in save percentage and high danger save percentage over the last 10 games and filling in for Jacob Markstrom, this is the goaltending depth that we've been missing over the last couple of years, and this is what we've needed to really push this team forward. Now, I know our record hasn't seemed the greatest and hasn't felt the greatest and hasn't been the greatest since Markstrom went down. But if he's on, with him going on this trip, that really shows that he is definitely close to coming back, which I believe we're all going to be happy to see. And not for nothing, Jacob Markstrom coming back from injury with some time off, as long as he's healthy, he'll be pretty good and rested going into this playoff push and into the playoffs should we make it, which I'm assuming we will. And Jacob Markstrom, coming towards the end of his career at the age of 34, he's got something to prove, and he's got a good team in front of him to prove it with. So, he's going to be itching to show that he can win in the playoffs, which I know his playoff success hasn't really been all that best or all that fantastic. But Stephen Engel saying a guaranteed loss tonight. Allen is going to play a bad game. Can't always say that. I mean, if Jake Allen and Nico Dawes are, first in a couple categories in the league, they're not all that terrible. We got, what else we got here in the chat? AJ's talking about the offsides, play defense against this team or suffer the wrath. Well, you would hope that if they play defense that, the Devils will win, but, the Colorado Avalanche have stumbled out of this break too. So let's not forget that. Now, I don't want to be the team that they wake up against. But hey, let's take advantage of this team that's down a little bit right now and, get a victory while we're out west. Now, it is always tough for teams that are visiting from the East Coast, especially going out to Colorado and having to adjust to that, to that atmosphere up there in Denver, which if you've never been to Denver, if you've never been to the Rocky Mountains, it's real. That atmosphere change is definitely real. It's very beautiful out there. So I suggest one of these years, I'm going to tell Sam, we got to go out to this away game and take in the Devils versus Avalanche out there in the second home of our Devils franchise when they were playing there in Colorado as the Rockies. So it's going to be, it's going to be a good game. And again, I'm more worried about facing off against Mackenzie Blackwood if we have to tonight. I want to go back real quick to Sunday's game. I want to point something out. Nemec had his chance to prove himself, and then he belonged in this lineup on Saturday, and he doesn't. Seamus Casey comes in, scores just a heck of a goal in that game on Sunday. So I'm really hoping that we see more of Seamus Casey as we're going forward. I don't know if anyone is able to dig up any of the lineups or any of the lines for tonight. If you can, either send them my way or throw them in the chat. I know Max is usually good for that, but I don't see him yet in the chat. So hopefully those lines come out soon. Tinto Thames, it is your first time here. Well, welcome to the chat. Welcome to the YouTube chat for the Let's Go Devils podcast. Well, happy to have you here. Hope you come back. Usually it's me and my co-host Vinny, but he is on assignment tonight. Vinny will be back for this weekend as the Devils continue this sort of westward swing as we go out to Utah and then Sunday in Vegas. Looks like Brooke Amanda is checking for some lines. I'm hoping that's what she's talking about. But I'm assuming we're going to see Jacob Allen tonight. AJ Visco agrees with me that Nemec lost his job. That was his chance. Saturday night was Nemec's chance. And he just was outshined by Seamus Casey. And that was his opportunity to show that all that bluster in that article was, not just him making noise, but it was for real. But hey, he didn't really take that opportunity. So anyway, going into the game tonight with the Colorado Avalanche, the Devils lost to them back in December. Lost to them 4-0. Was shut out by the Colorado Avalanche. We're looking to get a little bit of revenge tonight away on this trip. We've got our game tonight. Tonight's a Wednesday. We've got 2 days off, and then we go into Saturday against Utah. First time out there in Utah. And then we have Sunday in Vegas, which if you have not been to Vegas, I highly suggest it. We went last year, and it was phenomenal. It was such a good time, such a great atmosphere. Sam Wu made enemies for life with the local Girl Scouts, and it's been funny ever since. So we've got some late games coming up. We've got this one 9:30 tonight. We've got 9 o'clock on Saturday, and something like 8 o'clock on Sunday. So Brooke Amanda is throwing the lines into the chat. We've got Pally, Hughes, and Bratt, and we have Tatar, Heischer, and Nason. The lineup on Sunday was phenomenal. Whatever they did against those Predators, they got to do it again against the Avalanche, who, like I said, and I'll say it again, are kind of on a little bit of a slump. I don't want to let the Avalanche break out of that slump tonight because that would just be so detrimental to this team. I want to go through this road trip. I want to get points all the way. We need these points. Sam Wu is a Mrs. Fields fan. Sam Wu throwing out his allegiance to cookies, and it's not Girl Scout cookies. Our bottom two lines, Meyer, Dowling, and Mercer, with Cotter, Hola, and Bastion to round out our 4 lines. We've got our defensive pairs coming in. We've got Dylan and Hamilton. Brooke Amanda has retracting her original statement and fixing it. Dylan and Hamilton as a pair. Pesci and Covey. That'll be a good pairing. And let's see if we've got our boy Seamus Casey in the lineup again. And we're waiting. Hughes and Casey in all caps. Look at that. Casey has earned himself another game. I think Casey well deserves it. We have Jacob Allen in net, as confirmed by Brooke Amanda. Yeah, Seamus Casey has earned this start again in Colorado. And if he can continue this, I don't know if there's a reason for him to go down, unless there's just no room and he just needs playing time, which you can never discount playing time, even at the AHL level for these younger players. So this is looking like a pretty good lineup. And if I'm not mistaken, it's very same lineup from Sunday when the Devils were able to beat Nashville, who the Avalanche lost to 2-0. So the Avalanche lost to the same Nashville Predators 2-1. Excuse me if I said 2-0 earlier, but 2-1 when the Devils beat them 5-0. So, this should be, I'm hoping, a really good game for the New Jersey Devils. And I'm hoping that this is one where the Devils come out with a victory. Steven Engel saying he doesn't like Meyer on the third line. Meyer, Dowling, and Mercer. It's if they're going to produce, let them produce. And you know what? Let's let them play, because what I like about having lines like this is they're really it shouldn't really matter if you've got a deep team, if you're on the first, second, or third line, even the 4th line. If you're getting out there and doing well and playing well on the ice, then you know what, you're deserving your time. But if you're 4 lines deep and 3 pairs deep, against anyone in this NHL, you're going to be so hard to beat. They just got to play some pretty stout defensive hockey, because we know that the Colorado Avalanche, they've got some they've got some players on this team. They have just added who we affectionately refer to as Neckass, Natchez, on recently via trade. Plus we've got Nathan McKinnon, who just was wild in the Four Nations tournament as far as the scoring. We're going to see our old friend Miles Wood, unless he's injured. I think he might be injured. But yeah, we've got some really good teams. We've got Makar on the blue line for the Colorado Avalanche. So we definitely have some old friends, and we've got some pretty stout and highlight reel players that the Devils are going to be playing tonight here in Colorado. Yes, Brooke Amanda, you are correct. I did kick your butt in pond hockey, and yeah, that was a good time out on the pond. And unfortunately, because of the warm weather, we haven't been out there since, and I haven't been out there since, and hoping to get back out there soon. However, we are now coming down to less than, almost 10 minutes before game time. So Eddie's thanking Brooke Amanda, and Brooke Amanda, thank you again. Eddie, thank you for appreciating what Brooke's doing. This is usually the job of our good buddy Max, but Brooke is picking up the slack where Max is not available to watch or listen tonight, and giving us the lineups. So let us now, with just about 11 minutes, just coming on 10 minutes before game time, let's start getting some predictions into the chat. So this is the point where, and I'm looking for so Tinto Thames, since it's your first time, this is the time in our game day live where we start throwing some predictions into the chat, and you can give your chance at trying to predict the correct final score for tonight's game. It's a lot of fun. It's something we do very often. Our producer Sam Wu, you're going to learn, man, he just throws some wild scores out there. And every now and then one of us gets it right. Every now and then someone in the chat gets it right. AJ Visco has gotten one right recently with a 4-0 Devils victory. So let's start throwing some more predictions into the chat there. While I'm waiting for more predictions into the chat, I do have predictions from both Sam Wu, who is quietly producing behind the glass tonight, and on assignment, Vinny Parisi. Sam Wu with a 6-4 Devils victory. Not so much a typical Sam Wu score, but that's definitely an all possible score tonight for these two teams playing currently out there in Denver. Vinny Parisi predicts 3-1 New Jersey Devils with the victory. So that's 2 votes for the Devils here. Let's go into the chat, see what we got here. All right. Tinto Thames, it's your first time here. I'll read yours first. Saying that Seamus Casey's going to score again, 3-1 Devils. Good. That's a good score prediction there. What else we got? Sorry, Stephen Engel. Not going to read it. Brooke Amanda with a 4-1 Devils victory. Wimpy with a 6-3. Very similar to Sam Wu's prediction here. Select the Boy says 3-1 Devils. AJ Visco, who's had some success predicting games, 4-3 Devils. Wimpy's saying it's a Tatar revenge game, which would be great. I'll get to Brooke Amanda's comment in a little bit, and I'll explain that. Eddie's saying 5-3 Devils. Let's see. We've got Merrily Films or Flims. I don't remember seeing you here in the chat, but if you're new, welcome as well. 4-1 Devils. Joseph Lemon says 5-2 Devils. And just to explain Brooke Amanda's comment, I was keeping the puck away from her, and I finally allowed her to have it. And I did say that to her, which she was not too pleased when I said that. But she gladly took the puck, though, when I gave it to her. But she was not very happy that I kind of followed it up with that little bit of a snarky comment. So, without any more predictions in the chat, I am going to go and give my prediction, of which I am sorry. I'm probably going to be wrong. But the Devils are playing out there in Colorado, and I don't know if anyone has seen if Mackenzie Blackwood is starting in net for the long time, first time for Merrily Films. Phil's, I can't pronounce it right now. It's too late at night. Sorry, Brooke. I didn't mean to kind of ruin your day like that when we were on the pond. But Devils are playing the Colorado Avalanche tonight. It's a high-scoring offense on the Colorado side. We can absolutely have a high-scoring offense, too, as we saw against Nashville at the beginning of this road trip. We may see our old friend Mackenzie Blackwood, and we know how Mackenzie Blackwood likes to play against us. He likes to play very strong against us. He shut us out at least once this year. And it's possible that he's going to be pushing for that again. It's just what you like to do as a goalie. You definitely like to shut out your old team or shut out your friends against you. So, and Joseph Lamon has just confirmed Blackwood is in net with against Allen. So, and this is going to be a tough one because Mac Black is going to want to play very well against us, and I really do believe he is going to play well against us. But I do believe the Devils are going to eke out this victory, and I'm going to say 4-3 New Jersey Devils, and it's going to be a close one. Mac Black is going to play well. Jacob Allen is going to play better. Devils are going to play 4-3. Devils are going to win 4-3. And you know what? I'm going to go with Tinto and say that, Seamus Casey with a goal tonight. Brooke Amanda, put some money on it if you want it. If you want to, I'm going to say that Devils are going to win 4-3 tonight. And I want to thank everybody for listening. So Tinto Tem, since you're new, we also have a post-game podcast called Devils After Dark, which is where we have my other co-host from the Sunday Night Big Show, Scotty of Sirius XM Liquid Metal, recapping the game and giving his breakdown and giving his comments on the game. So check that out. And also Sunday night, 9 o'clock this weekend is more than likely going to be preempted since the Devils play late. So we may not have a big show again this weekend, but there will be Game Day Live. There will be Devils After Dark. And, again, set your alerts because we have our trade deadline coming up this week, coming up on the 7th. So, hey, never know what's going to happen between now and then. Sometimes the trades happen in the lead up to the trade deadline. So we're just over a week away from that. So set your alerts for the Let's Go Devils podcast. And this way you'll know when we go live. I want to thank everyone for tuning in, everyone for chiming in the chat, giving your predictions. Welcome to Tinto, and thank you for joining the chat. Thank you for listening to the podcast. Please subscribe. Please download. Everyone, please log on and check out Devils After Dark so you can hear Scotty of Sirius XM Liquid Metal recap the game that was. And look for us for Game Day Live again this coming Saturday against the Utah. And please have fun and watch this game tonight with the Devils against the Colorado Avalanche. As Samu always says, and Vinny Parisi always says as well, let's go Devils.